It was about 12 years ago, a Saturday. I was a bit tired, and as I got out of the shower, I banged my head.
I was paralyzed on the left side, and I didn't see anything on the left side, and the speech went blah, blah.
And then my balance started to go. I was walking into things all the time.
And I had difficulties in breathing. And I was all sweat, and it was horrible.
I think it was about on the 5th or 6th day, I remember I asked a young nurse, one of the junior nurses, something about going home, vaguely, just something vaguely about when would I be going home, and she said, oh, you won't be going home when you leave here, you'll be going to rehabilitation.
3 months I will go back to work. And I called my boss and said, I will be back in 3 months. But it was 5 years before I could start coming back.
And I just remember it's so unlike me, because I remember I was sitting on the edge of the bed after this nurse I'd spoken to, and thinking, oh God, so I must have sort of somehow, what's happened to me? I was a bit confused, but it's not like me to be just like this. And they came in, and I looked up, and they said, hey, and I said, hey, and then my head dropped again. They were great fun, standing in front of everybody with their red and blue costumes, and very positive atmosphere, stamping their good foot and clapping and doing all these, and you tried to do it, and it was fun. Just trying to do it was fun, because you laughed at yourself. You couldn't get this rhythm, this drummer's technique, and it's the right and it's the left and it's the right. And I still have trouble myself knowing what's left and right. I notice it when I try to give taxi drivers instructions. I'm often saying the wrong thing, and I was never like this before, and I wasn't old when I had a stroke. I was 44, so you practice this all the time. You mix the movements up, so you're doing something with your right hand while you're moving your left leg and swapping backwards and forwards. So it's a great demand on both physically and mentally. It feels good. You know that it helps your concentration, and it helps coordination, and it trains your memory as well.
It was really difficult, and I thought I will never do this. But you had to laugh, it was so fun. Fantastic. And you had to focus on these signs. And my sight was affected by the stroke. So it was very hard work, just to see and to follow the pointing like this. You listen to good music, and you make the moves, and you have fun, and you have friends around. It's a good time, and that improves, I think, the learning. This practicing made me more secure, and that's good for the mood.
We all feel that our mood lifts. For some people, it's probably much more than for others, but we all notice that we are happy doing this.
Then I started to try to stand up. At first I could do it maybe 5 minutes, and then I was so tired and had to sit. Now I stand all the time, 1 hour long. Wow. Yes.
And what they have discovered in recent years is that whereas they used to think after stroke that there were the dead areas, that you couldn't replace the skills that were in those areas, that you couldn't sort of rerun, but now they know that the brain actually does this, that it finds other pathways where the pathways are blocked. This method must be very good to improve this, because it's a provocative method. The body provokes the mind, and the mind provokes the body. And you see in the group, when you're in the group, that how people are lifted by this. It's a very physical method. You feel sometimes very tired when you switch this simultaneous capacity, which is hard for a lot of us who've had a stroke. You feel kind of like a mechanism, that you're actually making the nerves and so on and the muscles do their work. Do you feel it? There's a lot of awareness training in it. This being aware of things is something that it helps to promote.
I feel strong.